But talking about the draft and talking about what we think the Ravens can potentially do. I think the biggest thing is the Ravens always love to do this best player available.
Yeah.
And Joshua, when you're looking at this draft class outside of the wide receiver position, what is a guy that you think could fall in they're underrated, they're a sleeper pick that the Ravens could end up snagging in this draft that could really help out this team?
Man, let me talk. Let's talk about it. I mean, honestly, we haven't made a move for Justin Houston. We haven't made a move to bring JPP back. So I know we'll get Dalen Hayes back. I know we'll finally see David Ojabo all the way healthy. And honestly, this is a Dafio Wade's third year, and usually some of our defensive ends that has been late bloomers in their third year have come out and shined. And we do have the defensive end whisperer in the facility now as well. So I'm gonna stay on edge. It's been a school that has been pushing out edge rushers for the past couple of years, from the Bosa brothers to Chase Young. The next one that I feel like that's not being talked enough is Zach Harrison. He's a 6'6", 275 specimen. His player comp for me, I'm going to say Terrell Suggs. He racked up over 64 tackles in his career, 12 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. And yes, the interception was damn near close to how Terrell Suggs picked off Big Ben as well, McConnell.
Hear it.
So, I mean, you're talking about a 6'6" specimen, that can line up on the outside, line up on the inside as well, and just really use his bull rush. He knows how to, he knows how to swim. He knows how to he knows how to fight with his hands. He has a great bend like Dalen Hayes, and he just takes his long wingspan and just puts his paw right on the QB, his throwing arm, and make them fumble the ball. Like, I literally watched one of his highlights, and I saw him playing against Penn State, and they was trying to do a read option. He tackled the running back and the QB. There was I forgot what team it was. He stuffed the running back in the backfield to cause a tackle for loss. He played against Georgia. He came in immediately, and there was I think it was like a sweet play to one of the wide receivers or the tight ends, and he just came in immediately and made the tackle. So I mean, he has great instincts. He has great awareness. The only thing about him is that's going to hurt my soul is he doesn't have a high motor. Sometimes he does take off of plays. So I think that's something that could be hurtful to him in his stock. So if he continue to work on himself, get a high motor like a Jahi Ward, that's my guy. I feel like he'll be in good company, and I feel like he'll be a great addition, on his Ravens defensive line.
I think it's a really good option for the Ravens. I would love if we were able to snag him because that size is tough for an edge rusher. Like, that is a very difficult guy to go against because not only do the Ravens love edge rushers, like every team, they love edge setters. And he has the type of size that would be able to set the edge against the run. And then let's say it gets into 3rd and short, put him in, and you're playing against a team like the Bills or something like that, where like they're probably going to pass, but they could run, slide him inside. He can still rush the passer, but also can, kind of get that pressure from the interior because we lost Calais. And Calais was that big guy.
I was going to bring it up.
He was moving everywhere.
He has swatted many passes, and the linebackers has been there to catch the interceptions too. So, like you said, we missed that.
The ceiling is there. The ceiling is definitely there, and I think the Ravens are very good at developing edge rushers. May not dominate year one, but when the Ravens draft these late round guys, that's when they thrive. Yeah. When we drafted Tyus Bowser, a big body, developmental edge rusher out of Houston with good athleticism, and it was like, it hasn't been crazy productive, but we'll see what we can do. Oh my gosh, he's turned into one of the better players on the Ravens defense because he just does it all, and he developed, and he can rush the passer, he can drop into coverage, and he can use his frame to be great. And that's why we drafted Adafe. It was because we knew we could develop him. And yes, he hasn't become a superstar, but that wasn't expected. It wasn't expected for him to be a superstar in the first 2 years. It was, hey, down the line, maybe we can turn this guy into somebody great. And if not, we're going to have somebody that can at least set the edge with his physicality. And Odafe does set that. So I do like Zach Harrison as a potential guy. I went farther back into the draft, and I actually also went with an edge rusher. I went with BJ Thompson, edge rusher out of Stephen F. Austin. And, another guy, big body, 6'6", 240 pounds. He was productive in college. And I think, I've said this before in Mock Draft Mondays. I really feel like this guy is getting that that Tariq Woolen experience, right? Where he's coming out of that small school, but he's a freak athlete, but he's not going to get drafted because of it. He wasn't at the combine, which is where Tariq Woolen was able to thrive, was because he ran 4.26 and people went, oh, okay, we're really going to pay attention. But oh my goodness, this guy could come in and dominate. And he was at the, I don't know if he might have been the Shrine Bowl he was at. I don't think he was at the Senior Bowl. I think he was at the Shrine Bowl, and he was dominating.
Okay.
I had people texting me that I had talked with them about him, and they're like, "I'm watching this right now. This guy's playing really well." They're like, "This guy's making a name for himself." And he's got physicality, he's got speed, he's got strength, and he could be available in the 6th round. There's a chance this guy goes undrafted. I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna be a stud. If he goes to the right spot and he develops right, he's got all the tools to be a great pass rusher in the NFL. He's just coming out of that small school, and he was productive. He's not someone where he's coming out and it's like, oh, he had 3 sacks. Yeah. He had 9.5 sacks last year, 12.5 for loss. And it's just like, it's just, we got to get somebody that can make sacks happen. And I think he can develop into that guy.
And
again, big body edge rusher. We thought the exact same thing.
And you know what? I gotta go since we go in small schools, man. I gotta talk about him. Hold on, y'all. I gotta find a little bit of information on him. He's my guy. He got the same name as me, man. I gotta talk about him just a little bit. I'm talking about, if you don't know him, you're about to find out about him. He comes straight out of Maryland. It's Joshua Pryor out of Bowie State University, a 6'4", 245 specimen, defensive end. Man, when I watched some of the see, I think he went defensive player of the year one year, and he was on the all CIAA defensive first team as well. So I mean, you're talking about it at one point. You're talking about a guy that was pretty much all over the field. That I think for those past 2 years, like 21 and 20 and 21, that defense was a wrecking ball to be messed with, and Joshua Pryor led that defense. I think he had over. Damn, I gotta get his stats. Man, y'all. If anybody in Maryland or DMV area, if I know about Joshua Pryor, talk to me. Put it in the comments. After we post this, but he's a good guy, big upside. I heard the Commanders actually were looking at him. I did actually hear that the Ravens were looking at him too. I think his player comp is Yannick Ngakoue, honestly. And if you're being compared to Yannick Ngakoue that went to the University of Maryland, that's a huge deal. So I mean, like you've been saying, man, we need another extra presence. It's just somebody that's going to come in fresh, someone that's going to be able to chase down those quarterbacks, set the edge, be able to, take on running backs, things of that nature. And, sometimes you find so many gems at small schools. I mean, we've known the Ravens organization has been known to do that so many times again, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm definitely looking forward to that young man and his journey. There's so many guys that recently has been picked up from different HBCUs. Joshua Williams, that was our guy going to Kansas City, cornerback. I know Xavier Smith, the wide receiver for FAMU, is going to be coming up in this year's draft. So I mean, it's definitely a lot of guys to look at. It was a name of a Hampton University wide receiver, Jadakiss Bonds. It was an interesting name, but he was a 6'4" specimen. The only thing about him, he just when I looked him up, I was like, I don't think he's gonna make it. It's nothing, and it's nothing against anyone, and it's no hate or nothing like that. It's just sometimes you do the work, you put in the effort. Not everybody makes it to the next level. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all. So it's a lot of great guys out here, man. If y'all want us to keep on looking up some guys that y'all like, drop in the comments, shoot us a message, anything, and we'll do our homework, do some research on them.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is gonna be really exciting. We're getting closer to that draft time.
That's right.
This segment's probably going to be out on like Friday, which means that the draft is going to be like 2 weeks away. Insane. Let us know in the comment section down below all of your guys' thoughts. Make sure to you guys can also answer on Spotify as well. There's a Q&A after every episode if you guys want to leave feedback or thoughts or comments or anything like that. We do see that as well. So thank you all so much for listening. Joshua, do you have any final words to say to the people?
The USFL has started. XFL is coming towards the end. I know the Defenders have been rocking. The DC Defenders, excuse me, they have been balling. So if y'all see some guys out on that field, man, that y'all found that you all feel that can make a push or a fight for this 53-man roster, by all means, put in the comments. We could do some research on those guys too. And also, it is Wednesday, hump day. We got 2 more days before the weekend, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be good out here.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for watching or listening. We'll see all of you again next time.